Hello there. It is Wendy from the Way of Truth, here to share a little bit of wisdom on a Wednesday and to share a special story and a special offer we have coming up here at the Way of Truth. One of the most iconic TV commercials I remember seeing as a kid was that one in which the blonde lady sings about how she can bring home the bacon, fried up in a pan, and never ever let you forget you're a man. Seriously, those are the lyrics. Now, obviously, this ad wasn't just selling perfume. It was selling the you can have it all lifestyle to a new generation of women who had previously been shut out of serious positions within corporate America and who were largely relegated to the domestic realm. But thanks to the women's lib movement of the 1970s, now both realms were open to women at the same time. This commercial was more than just a commercial. It was a sign of the times. The fine folks at the now defunct Charles of the Ritz Company were trying to attach their product to the now defunct idea that it's a breeze for any woman to be a successful professional, a doting wife, an attentive mother, a gourmet cook, a meticulous homemaker, and a satin gown wearing sex kitten all at the same time. Here is what the ad was really saying. I can bring home the bacon. Nice double entendre, Anjali. The first meaning of the word bacon in this line is obviously money. But perhaps this line would have been more accurate had it said, I can bring home 73% of the same bacon you can bring home, even though I worked just as hard for my bacon as you did for yours. The second entendre of the word bacon is actual bacon. The message being, yes, dear, I'll stop at the market on my way home from work and pick you up some bacon. Fry it up in a pan. The point here is clear. That bacon ain't gonna cook itself. And never ever let you forget you're a man. After I've worked all day, shopped, cooked, cleaned up, and read the kids a bedtime story, there's nothing I'd rather do than spray on some atomized pheromones, aka Anjali, slip into that some like it hot white satin number I have lying around, and rock your world. Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for the 24-hour woman. This is the official tagline of the commercial. Now, maybe it's just me, but the subtext here seems to be something more subversive. There seems to be an implied threat here. You want it all, sweetheart? Well, here it is. Be careful what you wish for. Little did I know when I was a little girl watching those kinds of commercials and watching my mother doing her best superwoman impression, that my little mind and ego were taking in all of those messages and developing some shadow beliefs about myself and about the world. As I grew up, I began to make choices based on those beliefs, and by the time I hit my 20s, I was already a raging workaholic. I was definitely out of integrity with my work-life balance. I looked for teaching jobs that would allow me to bring my kids to the workplace, which in many ways wasn't fair to my kiddos because I couldn't really be present as their mom when I was working, or I would lose the job. And I unconsciously passed on the same messages I had picked up as a child. After work, I would be exhausted and plop them in front of the TV the same way I had been plopped. I wasn't being the best mom I could be, and I beat myself up for not being very mentally present with them. As my inner resentments grew, I became more and more emotionally distanced from my husband. Yes, I could bring home the bacon, I could fry it up in a pan, but I couldn't live up to his fantasies, and I stopped wanting to never let him forget he's a man. And it got worse. After my divorce and a year of juggling joint custody, the kids sat across from me at a family therapy session and told me that they wanted to live full-time with their dad. I felt like a huge failure, and I was drowning in the shame guilt and embarrassment of not being what a woman is supposed to be. And now I had child support payments to make. So instead of dealing with all the pain and the shame, I took to the road and became a traveling saleswoman. That was the end of any semblance of work-life balance. It was all work and no life. In 2011, I was the highest grossing sales agent for my company, and they sent me to an all-inclusive resort as my reward. But I felt guilty that I wasn't working. And I felt fearful because I wasn't making money when I was on vacation. I kept hearing a small voice inside saying that I needed to find balance. I needed to change jobs. I needed to ask for help, but I kept ignoring that inner voice until I couldn't anymore. One day, my leg developed an infection from a small cut I had received from tripping in the stockroom. I ignored it. I had work to do until it swelled to the size of a golf ball. And I didn't want to take off time from work, so I went to an urgent care doc who prescribed antibiotics, and I went right back to work. In a few days, it was clear the medicine wasn't working. My left leg had swollen to twice the size of my right. So, begrudgingly, I went back to the urgent care doc who lanced it and gave me a stronger prescription and a warning. If this swelling doesn't go down, the next step is amputation. That's how strong my shadow beliefs were. And that's what it took to finally convince me to take bed rest and allow myself to heal. As I was lying in my hotel room with my leg raised to distract myself from the fearful voice yelling that I should be working, I began to read a book by Debbie Ford called The Right Questions. Now, years earlier, in the midst of my divorce, I had read The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. And now, in my darkest moment, I asked for help, and I received a very powerful answer. Integrative coaching is your new path. Do the work to come into balance. Not only will you heal and transform your life, but your new job can be to help others going through the same thing. I made a commitment to train with Debbie Ford and certify as a breakthrough shadow coach. Break through the shadow. Now, to really understand what breakthrough shadow coaching is about, it helps to understand a little more about shadow beliefs, a term originally coined by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung and later adopted by thought leaders such as Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, and Debbie Ford. A shadow belief is an unconscious, limiting belief that influences our entire lives, telling us what we can and cannot do and drives all of our behaviors. These are the negative beliefs hidden from our conscious view, and they are the biggest culprits, robbing us from having what we most want in life. Shadow beliefs keep that inner critic fueled. Now, if you have an inner critic running around morning till night, it's likely your limiting beliefs that sound something like this. I'm stupid. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. Why bother? Because I'm going to fail. It's too hard. It's more important to be needed than focus on me. I have to be the good girl. Yep, I've heard those voices in my head. How about you? Shadow beliefs are formed early in life, under the age of 10. And usually what happens is that we were faced with a situation or circumstance we simply didn't know how to handle or process. And we came to a decision or a conclusion. And that decision or conclusion, especially if it was a negative one, created a shadow belief about ourselves or the world around us. Once that shadow belief was formed, it was stored away in our unconscious operating system, telling us what we could or could not have or achieve in our life. And here's the crazy part. We might even draw in the exact circumstances we're trying to avoid because that's how the shadow works. It keeps showing up until we've brought our shadows into our awareness and shifted our perspective. So let me give you a little example of how the shadow is at work. While you were sitting at your desk at work, your coworker came over to you and asked you for some help. Now, you knew you were too busy, but you couldn't say no. Why? Well, that limiting belief in your head told you that it was more important to be needed than taking care of yourself. You didn't realize it was a limiting belief. You just told yourself that you'd find time for yourself later, which you never ever do. Now, as you reflect back on your childhood, you realize that your mom was always doing the same thing, taking care of everyone and never herself. Yet she even told you that you had to say yes to helping your friend with the bake sale because you might get left out next time. She told you that it didn't matter that you were tired. It was more important to be needed. Now, up until this moment, you forgot about that incident. You've stuffed it away, never even realizing how it might resurface in your future. Shadow beliefs can benefit us in some ways, but if they are keeping us from living the life we most want, then they are limiting. Now, the instinct of the ego when we discover a belief is to push it away. But just like a beach ball being pushed under the water, our shadow beliefs tend to fly back into our face. So what do? Yes, we break through our shadows and bring them into the light. The goal is not to push them away, but to make us aware of our beliefs, stop judging them, and shift our conscious beliefs. So instead of hating this part of yourself, you can learn to recognize your limiting belief and start to shift it to a more conscious and balanced belief. Instead of saying yes next time, you might decide to say no, but offer to help again when you have more time. You don't have to feel guilty and you don't have to apologize. You can simply embrace your new belief that it's okay to take care of yourself and your work first. It frees you from being tied down to your outdated beliefs and helps you build confidence and self-esteem. Ultimately, making peace with your shadow beliefs is the key to living that happy, balanced, and fulfilled life that you've been looking for. Now, the process of uncovering and making peace with our shadow beliefs doesn't have to be difficult. It can be fun, like a treasure hunt where we find the missing pieces that complete our life. Join me in making peace with your shadow today. Imagine if instead of being controlled by your shadow, you could step out of the darkness and into the light of awareness that will lead you to manifesting what your soul longs for. Whether it's more money, a healthier body, a new job, a better relationship, or a more meaningful career. Breakthrough Shadow Coaching is a goal-oriented program that will free you from the limitations that impact and sabotage every aspect of your life. If you are ready to dismantle the blocks that keep you stuck, frustrated, and unfulfilled, whether you want to work on a single issue or a long-term goal, this program will inform, empower, and inspire you to gain access to your inner vision and increase self-awareness and trust. Unveil the highest vision for yourself, your life, and your future. Dismantle the old beliefs, thoughts, and patterns that keep you stuck. Uncover and resolve core issues that stand in the way of you reaching your goals. Be more decisive and take action to manifest your vision. Achieve a goal that's been eluding you. Increase feelings of authenticity, confidence, and self-worth. If you want a proven structure that guarantees success, ensures deep and lasting change, and will move you in the direction of your dreams in just 12 weeks, then the time is now for Breakthrough Shadow Coaching. Enjoy 15% off if you register by August 31st. And now the details. To ensure that you create lasting change in your life, you'll receive 12 recorded sessions, including instruction and interactive exercises, 12 worksheets, 12 weekly coaching assignments, 6 live group community calls, 6 30-minute laser coaching calls, access to the private Facebook group, 24/7 access to your private course website, and access to just-in-time email coaching from your personal certified integrative coach to support your transformational process. Now, this program runs from September 12th to December 5th, 2019. We'll take Thanksgiving week off. And the price? Now, if you like to save money, you could do one lump sum of $11.99 or 3 monthly payments of $4.25. And if you register by August 31st, you'll save even more money. You could pay $9.99 or 3 monthly payments of $3.55. And if you're not sure if I can help, well, let's find out. Coaching is not a luxury or a response to a crisis. It's about achieving your goals, living your vision, and creating a container to hold you even during the tough times. Coaching begins with a conversation. It begins with understanding your particular circumstances to see if working together we can achieve your goals. And I got to be honest, I only work with clients who are ready to commit and make the changes necessary to live an extraordinary life. Now, there is no charge for my exploratory consultation. You just book a soul purpose discovery session on my online calendar, and I look forward to connecting with you. Just go to thewayofTruth.live/10543 to book your personal shadow talk with me today, because there is an early bird booking bonus. Just go to the calendar by this Saturday, August 17th, and get your discovery call scheduled. And I'm going to send you a coupon code so you can receive a powerful $97 Spark Your Motivation online course for free. And you don't need to have your call before Saturday. Just get it booked. Write down the link and go there right after this video is over. It's https://thewayofTruth.live/10543. Thank you so much. This is Wendy from The Way of Truth, saying bye for now.